Shuilian Major Wildlife Habitat is located in the 142nd compartment of the Lintian Division of the Hualien Forest District. At 531 meters, Shuilian Mountain is the habitat's highest point, extending eastward to the Hualien Taidong coast between Yanliao and Shuilian. The total area of this habitat is 340 hectares. The habitat's geological structure is a conglomerate rock formation of coastal mountain range, Dagangko, in which shale and conglomerate intersect like canine teeth. In this habitat, average annual temperature is about 23 degrees Celsius, with annual rainfall approximately 2,200 millimeters. Landforms can be divided into inland and sea-facing areas. Constantly blown by sea winds and affected by summer typhoons and rainstorms, Shuilian Major Wildlife Habitat experiences recurrent landslides. The unique environment that results supports the growth of many Taiwan date palms. Gorges in inland areas have been carved out by rivers. Between these two areas is Coastal Highway 11, which runs north to south, crossing bridges number 12 and number 15. In addition, several rivers run west to east. Following the valley upward, we are on the way to the main routes of biological survey. Dr. Ziying Chen, Associate Professor of Forestry at National Ilan Institute of Technology, conducted a survey of plant resources in the Shuilian Major Wildlife Habitat, recording 102 families, 251 genera, and 370 species of vascular plants. According to the data collected by Dr. Xiaowei Yuan, Associate Professor of Forestry at National Taiwan University, there are 11 amphibian species, 4 reptile species, 35 bird species, and 8 mammal species in this area. That's 27 families and 58 species of animals in all. Among these, the Ashiminovet and Taiwan bulbul are protected under the Wildlife Conservation Law. The same law designates 8 species as rare animals, including the Formosa rock monkey, Multrix green tree frog, the Chinese bullfrog, banded crate, serpent eagle, Formosan blue magpie, mountain scops owl, and huamei. With a pleasant, resonant, and varied voice, the huamei is often spotted perched on a branch during mating season, singing loudly to attract the female's attention. After a mate is chosen, the huamei likes to build its nest inside miscanthus clumps and wait for the female to lay the first egg and then the second egg the next day. After an arduous 15-day hatching process, baby birds finally break out of their shells and say hello to this wonderful world. The job of nurturing the hatchlings requires both parents, thanks to the young ones' hearty appetites. The parents work together to find food for their hungry offspring. Under the parents' careful protection, the baby birds grow bigger day by day. By the third week, the baby birds already have nearly full plumage, a sign that it's nearly time to leave the nest. At this point, the parents use food to encourage their kids to flutter their wings and soar into the future. Dr. Hongchang Liu of Academia Sinica studied the ecological behavior of crustaceans at bridge number 12, finding 4 crustacean species, including freshwater grapsoid crab, white freshwater crab, Caridina, and red freshwater crab. Red freshwater crab is a species found only in Taiwan. It mates from September to December. After mating, the female stores sperm in her spermatheca, a sperm-storing receptacle. Fertilization occurs during June of the following year when the female ovulates. The crab's zygotes develop directly because only a few eggs are laid, with each large egg providing sufficient nutrients for embryo development. The eggs then directly hatch into tiny crabs. In the valley, in addition to crabs, the Formosa damselfly was found diving underwater to lay eggs. One of the most commonly seen damselflies in clean rivers, this species can be spotted courting and mating around rivers in April and May. The most interesting part happens when the mothers-to-be dive under the water and lay their eggs on fallen branches and leaves. Before her egg-laying job is done, the mother has to spend more than an hour underwater. Workers in the Hualien Forest District say they often find yellow-lined box turtles in the Shuilian major wildlife habitat. With its geographically diverse environment, the Shuilian area shows a species composition with a complete successional series. Early successional stage plant communities, often found in sea-facing areas, are mostly composed of grasses and shade-intolerant tree species. By contrast, late successional stage communities, composed of shade-tolerant tree species, are distributed in inland areas. Therefore, we can easily recognize plant communities in their early, middle, and late stages by looking at the flora from sea-facing areas to inland areas. Late successional plant communities can be found on ridges, in valleys, on middle slopes, and on branch ridges of inland areas, or on gently sloped areas near the sea. These mostly include trees such as figs, autumn maple tree, blue Japanese oak, Chinese soapberry, and Taiwan sugar palm, as well as some shrubs. Vines such as yellow rattan palm climb all over trees, thus creating a primeval atmosphere in the forest. Middle successional plant communities occur on the upper slopes near the sea or on ridges and in the valleys of inland areas. Major tree species include subcostat crepe myrtle, macaranga, howell fig, Siebold ardisia, and Taiwan angelica tree. Early successional plant communities occur on the steep cliffs, middle slopes, and branch ridges of the seashore. Representative plant species include nutgall tree, Taiwan cotton rose, Formosan beautyberry, miscanthus species, and pendant reed. The rare Taiwan date palm is an early successional shade-intolerant species, often found in miscanthus arundo-type vegetation. In the 142nd forest compartment, steep, gravelly topography is quite common. Being an early successional species, Taiwan date palm grows on the steep topography. In this environment, if the frequency of landslides does not interfere with the life cycle of the Taiwan date palm, there should be no problem for the palm to drop seeds and complete its life cycle in the same place. Due to the steepness of the Shuilian area, Taiwan date palms grow like pens, sticking out of the steep cliffs, forming a very special landscape. In the Shuilian major wildlife habitat, Taiwan date palm is the brightest star. A 2-year survey done by the Hualien Forest District shows that this habitat contains the largest population of Taiwan date palm in Taiwan. A perennial tree in the palm family, Taiwan date palm is mainly distributed in Southeast China, including Hainan Island, Hong Kong, and Taiwan. In Taiwan, Taiwan date palm can be found on both the east and west coasts, extending from Heping Island off Keelung to Eluanbi in Kending. It can grow in the sand, on seashore rocks, on reefs, as well as on inland mud volcanoes, and in the eastern broadleaf forests, at elevations ranging from sea level to 500 meters above sea level. Since 1998, the survey has found 6,200 Taiwan date palms in 5 plant communities from Bridge Number 12 in the 142nd Forest Compartment to the area where Shuilian South and North Rivers join the sea. According to Dr. Chun, Shuilian steep cliffs experience recurrent landslides due to natural forces such as typhoons and rainstorms. The Taiwan date palm can enjoy a dominant status here because its root systems are able to penetrate deeply into crevices in the steep cliffs. In addition, its high resistance to salinity allows the Taiwan date palm to grow better in such infertile environments compared to other plant species. In mid-July, the flowers of the Taiwan date palm gradually become small fruit. As the fruits mature, the colors change from green to dark purple, after which they fall to the ground and turn into small seedlings. The Taiwan date palm sprouts new shoots twice a year. Although sprouting appears to occur all year round, the 2 peak periods are in early June and early September. The general belief is that small landslides help the Taiwan date palm in terms of regeneration and succession. However, neighboring compartments 145 and 146 were discontinued, allowing people to enter and farm. crop planting now seriously threatens to replace the Taiwan date palm and other wild animals in these areas. Therefore, Hualien Forest District workers not only thoroughly carry out routine inspections, but also enforce bans against illegal hunting and collection. In addition, the workers use aerial photos to precisely locate and demarcate plots in order to investigate dynamic changes in the vegetation and provide a basis for comparison with regeneration in the permanent plots. We hope such rigorous monitoring can serve as a future basis for Taiwan date palm conservation.
像海藻这一类的植物，它们的种子都非常的厚，必须要经过很长时间的呢，才有办法萌发。
Taiwan date palm seeds have thick shells and take a very long time to germinate. According to biological studies, this kind of seed is transported via the sea. So, the Taiwan date palm basically possesses an advantage due to the vigorous gene pool that resulted from exchanges between different populations. Instead of conserving species with low diversity, we should conserve species in their prime. We should emphasize the conservation of natural resources, not of rare species. According to Dr. Jiang, Taiwan date palms in Shuilian possess a genotype not found elsewhere. This particular genotype is the result of long-term evolution. Such variation takes millions of years to accumulate. Therefore, to conserve Taiwan date palms in the Shuilian area is to conserve species diversity for the entire island. Thus, we can see how important management of the Shuilian major wildlife habitat is. To increase public awareness of the Taiwan date palm as a valuable plant resource, the Hualien Forest District plans to build guided ecology trails along both sides of the road between Bridge number 15 and Shuilian. In addition, signs will be erected on Old Bridge number 15, where a large tract of Taiwan date palms can be found, to help the public better understand the tree's ecological significance. It's hoped that everyone can convert their love and care for this land into a collective show of strength to protect Shuilian. Hopefully, the Taiwan date palm and all the other plants and animals can continue to flourish in this evolutionary paradise, where the sun is warm, the sea is blue, and the mountains and forests are so green.